Good morning, students. Hope you remember the steps of demand forecasting, like determining the objective of the forecast. Then you have to decide the period for which forecasting has to be done. Then you have to select the technique for the forecasting and then collect the data according to the technique that you have selected and then make a forecast. Now, various technique of forecast. We have a quantitative and a qualitative technique. Quantitative technique covers a graphical method, least square analysis, you can say regression analysis over here, moving average method, exponential smoothing model, and etc. Qualitative or a judgmental method include executive committee opinion, Delphi method, survey of sales force, survey of customer, historical analog, or market survey. Now we cover one by one. First is a quantitative technique. Basically forecast the future demand by using a quantitative data from the past and extrapolating it to make a forecast for a future level. These methods seeks to identify the pattern in the past data. In order to systematically analyze data, managers use a time series analysis in this, and in this analysis they plot a demand data on a time scale, study the plot and look for a consistent shape or a pattern. In demand pattern become continuous when it has a continuous and does not consistently increase or decrease. The sale of the product in a mature stage of its life cycle may show a horizontal demand pattern. Linear trend emerges when demand increases or decreases from over a period of time. The sales of product in a growth stage of PLC tend to show upward trend, whereas those in decline tend to show a downward trend. A cyclical pattern is there that pertain to the influence of seasonal factors that have impact on demand, either positively or negatively. Clear, like we can say a woolen wear will high demand for that is higher in winter, lower in summer. So in a quantitative technique we used a data of past and it helped us to forecast the demand for a long term. A statistical concept is applied to the existing data in order to generate the predicted demand in the forecast period. First method in this is a graphical method that I told you right now. A horizontal pattern in a graph. This side is a quantity and this side is a time. Okay, अलग अलग टाइम पीरियड में क्या डिमांड हुई आपने उसको जो है ग्राफिकल मेथड में ग्राफ के हेल्प से शो किया फ्री हैंड कर्व से. Then you see horizontal pattern, the same demand. Okay, it is not going to change. Then the trend, upward trend, downward trend. Then this shows the seasonal. When season is high, the demand is high. When season is no, if there is no season, the demand will low. Then cyclical, which follow a trade cycle. So with the help of the shape of the curve, you identify the pattern of the demand. Then we have a least square method. Least square method, it shows the relationship between the variable. One is dependent and another is independent variable. In this independent variable is the time period and dependent variable is sales. इंडिपेंडेंट क्यों है? क्योंकि टाइम को आप कंट्रोल नहीं कर सकते हो, ठीक है, बट सेल्स इज डिपेंडेंट ऑन टाइम की अलग अलग टाइम पे अलग अलग आपकी सेल्स है, ठीक है. लीस्ट स्क्वायर मेथड इज वन ऑफ द रिग्रेशन एनालिसिस मेथड which shows the relationship between these two variables. In this line of best fit is try to make that try to minimize the sum of square of deviation between observed and fitted value of the data. In easy language, we can say the least square method or regression analysis we can use to find out what is the demand and how the demand is regressed towards the time. ठीक है, क्या रिलेशन है डिमांड और टाइम का, और उसके हेल्प से आप आइडेंटिफाई करते हैं कि आगे हमारी डिमांड क्या हो सकती है. क्लियर. नाउ सी द वेरिएबल हियर. y denotes demand and x denotes the time. The linear relationship between x and y is like this. This is the equation y, because y क्या है, डिमांड है. ठीक है, और डिमांड को आपने अभी क्या कहा, इट्स डिपेंडेंट और इंडिपेंडेंट. इट्स अ डिपेंडेंट, तो इट मीन्स y डिपेंड है हमारी x पे टाइम पीरियड में. तो अब a और b का जो है हमें रिलेशन बता रहा है. a b shows a relation between demand and your time period, and then independent variable x, that is your time. अलग अलग टाइम पीरियड में क्या क्या डिमांड होगी, विद दिस इक्वेशन यू हैव टू कैलकुलेट, एंड a and b are calculated with the help of past information of x and y. X and y denotes the deviation of capital X and capital Y. Least square estimation a and b. A and b is a constant, vector a and vector v you can say, and we calculate with it with this formula. Fine. It shows the relation between demand and time, what type of relation they have. Now the steps. First, find the mean. Average आपको निकालना है. ठीक है. Then find deviation of x and y from their mean value. Then multiply their corresponding deviation of x and y and find their sum to get x and y. Then find the square deviation of x and take the sum of x square. Find the value of a and b. With the help of this formula, we will find the value of a and b. Now just put the values in this equation and you will able to find out the demand. Clear? In the period x. And this least square method is advantageous because we no need to conduct a sample survey. Only past sales information is sufficient for us. It is simple and easy to understand, and under normal situation give reliable and accurate result. But we have a disadvantage also, like it based on a mathematical formula which is not understood by common man, and assumptions, other things remain constant, may not be true. Next is the moving average method. In moving average method, moving average of the sales of the past year is computed, and computed moving average is taken as a forecast for the next year or a next period. You can calculate moving average with the help of this formula, sum of demand of all the period and chosen number of period. See this example: January, February, March, April, May, June month sales are there. And if you want to forecast the demand for July and you are taking a 3-month moving average, then means just preceding the July, June, May, April sale divided by the 3, because we are taking a 3 as a moving average. Okay, 3 months as a moving average. Whatever you get the result, whatever average you get, that is just forecasted demand for the July. Basically, moving average is we used moving average to give the smoothness or to show the trend in the data. Then we have an exponential smoothing model. In this method, the forecast sale for a last period are modified by the information about the forecast error of a last period. This modification of the last year forecast are the forecast for the next time period. In this method, the weight assigned to a previous period demand decrease exponentially as the data get older. Thus, the recent demand data receive a higher weight than those the older demand data. In easy language, we can say exponential smoothing model. आपने जो फोरकास्ट पहले किया था, अगर इस फोरकास्ट में कोई भी डिविएशन आता है, whether it is positive or negative, वो उसको अकोमोडेट करके फिर आपकी नई लेटेस्ट डिमांड को बताता है. Means the past mistakes are accommodated in this particular forecast, and then you are going to forecast the demand. Clear? The new estimate आप कैसे calculate करते हैं? The old estimate of the last actual demand, जो आपकी actual demand थी, excuse me, okay, तो ओल्ड एस्टिमेट जो आपने लेटेस्ट एक्चुअल डिमांड की करी थी, मीन सपोज आपको जून की डिमांड आपको फोरकास्ट करनी है, तो आप जो है सॉरी जुलाई की करनी है, तो जून की डिमांड आपने ली जो आपने फोरकास्ट की, देन प्लस अल्फा. अल्फा इज अ स्मूथिंग कोएफिशिएंट. ठीक है, ये स्मूथिंग कोएफिशिएंट है. अगर लो वैल्यू है, लो वैल्यू यूज़ आप करेंगे व्हेन द सीरीज आर स्टेबल. अगर आपकी डिमांड स्टेबल है तो उसमें आपके रिस्क फैक्टर कम है, तो अल्फ़ा की वैल्यू भी कम हो जाएगी. बट डिमांड अगर बहुत ज़्यादा फ्लक्चुएट कर रही है तो उसको स्मूथ करने के लिए आपका अल्फ़ा की वैल्यू इंक्रीज हो जाती है. ठीक है, देन ब्रैकेट लेटेस्ट एक्चुअल डिमांड, जो एक्चुअल में आपकी जून की डिमांड थी वो, माइनस जो आपने ओल्ड एस्टिमेट जो फोरकास्ट आपने की था वो, मीन्स जो डिविएशन आया आपकी फोरकास्ट में, दैट यू हैव टू टेक. And then after whatever value you will get, that is the new estimate or new demand. Clear? Advantage is it is very simple method. It provides reasonable and accurate forecast, quick and inexpensive. But disadvantage are can be used only if past data is available, and it is not necessary that past trend may continue to hold good in future as well. Clear? So exponential smoothing model is just try to give a smoothness to your forecasting. So this is all about your quantitative data. Now qualitative or judgmental method. We are going to cover this in our next lecture. Thank you for the day, students.